everyone, Kingdom Silver here. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. Let's dive right in. So today, I feel like we talk about this topic every 3, 4, 5 months, but I think it's important to get a refresher on this. So as you can see on the screen here, we are talking about junk silver. And for those that have been around for a while, you will know that junk silver, also called 90% silver or constitutional silver, it's one of my favorite types of silver to stack. And so just a quick, brief explanation, OSV, if you will, I'm orienting people so they feel safe and valued. We are going to cover what junk silver is briefly, and then why I think there is such a great buying opportunity on junk silver right now. So junk silver, again, as I mentioned, also called constitutional silver, 90% silver. It's primarily made up of what you see on the screen here. You have dimes, quarters, and also half dollars that were made before 1964, and that has the 90% value of silver. You also have junk silver similar to this, and not just similar, actually, this Kennedy 1966 half dollar that is made with 40% silver. And then you do have some wartime nickels from World War II. A couple of those are 1 year, I believe it was 1943. Correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I believe it was 1943. They have 35% silver in them. So that's what makes up the category. So why do I like junk silver so much? Well, in either a future video or maybe the video's already come out, it will depend upon my release schedule of these videos and which order I decide to release them in. I am going to be talking about my 4 types of silver that I think every single silver stacker needs to have. And they fall into these 4 categories. It's stackability, flexibility, saleability, and collectability. And yes, I wanted to see how many times I could put ability into those. But in all seriousness, I really do think that those are legitimate categories, and we're going to talk more about those later. Where I think that junk silver falls into is the flexibility. And why do I say that? Well, to get fractional silver out there, really your options are getting like 1 gram silver bars. You can get junk silver, which you're seeing on the screen here, or you may see like some 10th ounce rounds, some 10th ounce coins. There's several countries that do that. I believe Britannia's are that way. I believe even some of the Armenian Noah's Arks may be that low in silver. I'd have to check that. Please, again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'd love to pick some of those up someday. But I find some of the problems around those is, yes, they are a better fineness on the silver, right? But the premiums can be ridiculously high for fractional silver. And to me, junk silver is some of the best of both worlds. And we're going to talk about why I think, especially now, junk silver has a key leg up over some of the other types of silver. But let's get into why you would want junk silver in your stack. And to me, the biggest reason, again, to that flexibility is, part of why you are a silver stacker is you have concerns about the digital world that we're in, right? And as a CPA, as someone that works currently in a financial institution, right, not all of those are created equal. I'm very blessed and thankful that I get to work at the institution I do that really cares about the people, its customers, its members, those that it serves. But there's always the threat of a natural disaster. There's always the threat of a bank collapse, right? And having your metals backed, not your metals, but your resources, your fiat, right, that we know is just it's a paper promise from a government, having it backed by something that you can physically hold in your hands, like this here as I rattle around the money, right? That is valuable. And again, going back to that natural disaster, it was actually about 2 years ago, pretty recently into me starting my channel, that we had those horrible floods that were in the Appalachian Mountains. And that's close to home for me, as I have family in that part of the world. And you were seeing in parts of Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, that they were actually paying for goods and services because there wasn't internet. For those that are familiar with that area, there is not infrastructure. It's mountains, it's ravines, it's a very isolated place. What were they doing? They were paying for their bread, their milk, their cheese, their meat, right? Their daily resources. They were paying with junk silver They were paying with gold backs and they were paying with dollars. And actually, those fiat paper dollars were going at a premium because a lot of people couldn't make change. And so dollars were actually going at a higher face value than what they said, because it was helping people, break and make that fractional currency. And so that's where I feel that junk silver can really shine, if you will, pun intended, because it allows you to be ready for that scenario. Now, one of the biggest, arguments against junk silver that I've had on the channel, and it's a fair one, and this happens and has happened in the past, is people saying, well, that's great, but often junk silver, right? And you can see it on the screen here, right? With and I love these old $50 walking liberties. They're just gorgeous. On this one, right when the war ended, right? I love the history behind these. But if you look at it, this $50 is pretty worn, right? And so what their argument has been is, hey, and here's another one that's even more worn, is, hey, you're getting this, it's not in a great shape, and so you're paying, even with the sales we've been seeing lately. And again, depending upon when this video comes out, it can change. But over the last year, you've seen junk silver at $2, $3, $4 under spot, right, in this condition. And they say, well, that's great. But in this case, you're not getting the same value, right, as if, it was in great shape, right? You're losing some of that metal count. And so you're actually getting less metal than, the face value would suggest. Well, that's been true. And again, that is a fair argument against junk silver. However, what I think has caused this argument to change a little bit is some of the recent sales we're seeing. And what you can see on the screen here in your bottom left, and I'll hold some of this up, this I picked up not very long ago. Let's see if the camera can focus. This is a different ballgame, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is brilliant uncirculated dimes. And so this is the lowest fractional value of silver really you can get. Again, the grams might be lower, but this is some of the lowest premium that you can get. I got this at spot, and this is brilliant uncirculated. And it was recently, again, depending upon when this video comes out, a few weeks ago, not only did I see dimes, but I saw brilliant uncirculated quarters from Monument Metals. They're not a sponsor of this channel, but there's somebody that I've used quite a bit. Check them out. They have some of the lowest deals in the industry, and they do good work. They were selling dimes and brilliant uncirculated quarters, right? These aren't brilliant uncirculated quarters, but they were selling brilliant uncirculated quarters at spot. And to me, that is an absolute game changer, because you're not having to worry about, oh, am I losing some of the metal, if you will, the metal value. I can't focus on the screen here, but am I losing that because these are so worn out, right? You don't have to worry about that with the brilliant uncirculated dimes and quarters. And coming back to the flexibility of this, I have this, beautiful Scottsdale silver bar, and there we go, getting the camera to focus, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love Scottsdale Mint products. They're just fantastic. However, if I'm having to pay for my daily resources, right, and I plop this 10-ounce bar on the counter, they're going to have to make change off that. And when you're in a barter scenario, when you're in a tough scenario, when it comes to, again, you've got a barter scenario, you're in a natural disaster, and you're having to break this up in value. If you think about it, yes, is this pure silver? Yes, it is. Depending upon when you buy it, are you getting maybe more silver for bang for your buck, if you will? Potentially. Again, we talked about the sales on this, so that doesn't apply. But where this really comes in is if I'm having to break this, it's like, breaking, people talking about, I don't want to break a 20 or a 50 or a $100 bill. It's kind of the same concept in that, in this case, they're going to have to make change for this, and sometimes that can be really tricky. And so if I've got brilliant uncirculated dimes, I'm getting the best of both worlds. I know the conversion rate on this, it's $1.40 face is equivalent to your 1 ounce of silver, and I can make change that way. And I'm not getting burned by the fact, again, that it's in poor shape like some of these $50. So that's going to do it for the video today, ladies and gentlemen. In the comments, I want to hear, what do you think about this? Are you a fan of junk silver? Do you think this is a really good time to buy junk silver? I would love to know your thoughts and to interact with you. That's one of the reasons why I make these videos. So with that, be blessed. Be a blessing to others. We'll see you later.